Welcome to Critical Questions, the antidote to lockdown boredom. I've trawled the internet for the best, worst, most interesting and ridiculous dumb questions I can find, and with any luck, my guests will be able to answer all of them. Who's not muted?
It's my fault. I'm fixing it now. I'm done.
Unprofessional.
I'm sorry.
Why is it not my fault?
I know. I'm a total amateur. I'm sorry.
That's it. The entire...
Just kick me. I'll show myself out. It's fine.
The entire stream is ruined now.
It is. Let's start again.
Let's start over the stream and just
I'm sorry. I wanted to be able to see the chat, so I've got my laptop next to me. That's the problem. But it's all fixed now. I can't.
I have my phone for the chat from me, so no worries.
Did you remember to hit like?
Yes, I did.
Of course I did just now, but yes, I did.
Yeah, I thought
Thank
about
you
that
for
already.
reminding me.
Hello everyone. How are we all doing today?
Sleepy. How about you?
I had 3 hours of sleep, so better than most nights of grad school.
I've had 2 hours, so we're good.
I think I mentioned just before we went on, I went for my first haircut in quite some time today, so...
You did?
Y'all can do that.
Yeah.
You're going to be wearing a suit and tie next.
Yeah, suit and tie. Suit and tie. I got some nice cufflinks, you know, which will be... So...
I want to see French cuffs and proper cufflinks.
Yeah.
If that happens.
Well, I'll actually.
Otherwise, don't do that.
All right, I'll stop.
Don't need photo evidence.
I'll stop these in the chat. All right, but yes, I did have it cut, but it is about 3 or 4 inches shorter. So, and it looks for some reason
it looks so blonde.
It's so blonde. I want to know what Granny is crocheting or knitting. Are you knitting or crocheting?
I am so glad you asked because I was planning to reveal that. And I said, no, I can't reveal it until either Junk Shop or Julie is around. And they usually aren't around this early in the morning. They're normally sleeping.
Yes,
but
Junk Shop's asleep.
This is for you.
Oh no!
It's a pride flag scarf.
Okay, you're going to make me cry. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. It's beautiful.
That's neat.
But yeah, this is for you.
I will. Yeah, oh my gosh, yes, we will both enjoy wearing that.
I was
Separately,
wearing
not at the same time.
making a rainbow scarf, but mine was a Nyan cat.
Do you make it long enough so they can both wear it at once?
Yes,
No, they have to
make
take
a long
turns. Sorry.
That's okay.
Right. Today we have got with us Julie LaVoice,
Hello.
Godless Granny,
Hello.
Jenny,
Good morning.
Jeff,
Hello.
and
Ahoy.
Seraphim.
Hello.
Hello. Right. Should we do some questions?
Yes, please.
I mean, if you insist.
I insist.
Yes.
What an amazing
Unless
idea
you
for a
want-
show.
Unless you want to just watch me crochet the whole time.
You'd have to move the camera down so we can
okay.
We could do that.
see. 2 hours?
I like crochet. I'm all
Could you
for it.
could you move the camera down so we can see your hands?
It could be like just very therapeutic viewing for people, just watching Granny crochet there.
You know,
Yeah,
I missed the
we'll
first
be
part of what
watching
Jenny
that,
said,
and all
and I
of us-
was like, no, I cannot because I'm not wearing pants. So,
What?
no.
What stitch are you using, Granny?
I'm sorry, what?
What stitch are you using?
I'm using a half double crochet.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know what that means. It might as well be magic.
A half double. That sounds,
Crochet.
Yeah,
that sounds like antithetical. It's oxymoronic at least.
Hey, but a lot of the names for some of these stitches don't make any
Dave,
sense whatsoever.
Dave, I don't know if you remember this, but in Britain at one time, grannies used to knit shreddies.
They did. Whole teams of them.
Yeah,
And Lone Wanderer says that knitting is superior.
I'm sorry, can you define a shreddy, please?
it's a breakfast.
Breakfast
It's a
cereal.
breakfast cereal.
It's a what?
Oh,
Oh, oh, for burial. Okay, cool. So like a shroud.
No, a breakfast cereal.
Oh, a breakfast
cereal.
All right, now, okay, that's why it was funny. Got it.
Yes.
Okay. I was so confused.
Would that be like the American equivalent of shredded wheat?
No.
No,
But imagine
no, 'cause-
shredded
No.
wheat, but a lot smaller, about the size of a quarter, and nicer.
I'm glad you asked, Jenny, because I immediately thought shredded wheat as well.
Well, shredded wheat, of course, are the
Yes,
things that are
the size
about
of a
this
wheat
big.
bisque, Weetabix.
Well,
Yeah.
we have
mini wheats too.
mini wheats this big.
shredded wheat.
Oh.
I think shredded
One half
wheat's
is
got-
covered with sugar and other.
One of
crap.
my favorite quotes from Buffy is Spike saying, "I like to crumble up the Weetabix in the blood. It gives it a bit of texture."
Yeah, well, I think shredded wheat was like the original breakfast cereal. Actually, older than cornflakes, I think. But
Was it? I didn't know that.
I think so.
I
But
like.
Apparently,
shredded
you're the
wheat.
hot blonde today, Jeff.
I'm the dumb blonde in the room. I'm
Hot.
the bim
I mean,
bum.
they're usually the same thing. So you're the hot
Yeah.
dumb blonde. Sweet.
Where are we? Should we do some questions? We were about to before we started
Is this week
Sorry.
I've got?
crocheting.
Is this I've got?
Do we have a question?
I've got to
We do.
come up with a blonde answer to every question.
You're not going to insult anyone like that. Right. If I don't now, I look at the first question, I know what you're going to say. Question 1064. What is your favourite battery-powered household appliance?
Well, my vibrator, duh.
Duh.
Yeah, vibrator.
Yeah.
100%.
Vibrator.
I mean, for me, I can only speak for me.
Or as I have to refer to it a lot, it's my boyfriend, because people are you single? Of course not. I have a boyfriend. He's battery operated, but still.
Jeff!
Probably a fucking toothbrush.
Oh, nice! You got the battery operated toothbrush. Nice. That's
A
nice.
fucking toothbrush. I
What?
gotta see that. I gotta see that happen.
It's not for that. I don't. Well, maybe
I
it
know
is.
some
I
people
don't
use
know.
it for
I
that.
couldn't speak for Jeff.
Sure. Dirty
Granny.
minds in here.
I'm trying to think of anything in the house that's even battery operated. The TV remote.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to go with the TV remote.
Do you have a laptop?
There we go. The Lone Wanderer says household appliance would
Yeah,
imply
that's true.
that other use it as well, and then it says you sick fucks.
Oh, okay. Then flashlight, of course, or torch, as y'all would call it. But yes.
Yeah, B says my torch. See, here's the thing. I'd say my phone. But I don't know whether
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much an
Duh.
appliance nowadays.
I don't consider my phone. I don't consider my phone to be a household appliance, though.
Yeah.
But what else
I
would you
know.
describe
That's
it
right.
as?
What'd you say?
It's just basically.
I mean,
It's
it's as
more of
much
a
a household appliance as a vibrator.
Hey, hey!
Hey.
Don't
Don't
tell
judge.
the boyfriend, man. That's not nice.
I like
It's
Don't
that.
hate
essential
it.
to running my
Feeling.
household.
It's essential. Computer Chick Production says I'm a sick fuck then. Antja says, "What other battery operated? All right, what other battery operated household appliances are there that we're missing out on?"
The console controller to the Xbox. The controller. Yeah,
That was
that's
gonna be my. That was gonna be my.
Um,
That was another one I was gonna think of as my Xbox controller because it's battery operated, and I fucking love my Xbox.
I do.
And
B
I was
says-
thinking of that too, but mine isn't battery operated. I plug mine in.
B says
Currently-
it's a small
currently I do
electronic
as well, so that's why I didn't say it. But once I get my rechargeable thing, it'll be battery operated, and I'll be happy because then I don't have to worry about a cord.
Aunt
Excellent.
Jer said that she wouldn't consider any of these items household appliances. And Jefferson Spatchcock says cell phone is a personal electronic device like a vibrator. And the Lone Wanderer says rinse it before you share.
You know, and I
Vibrator is
thought
not
I was.
electronic. A vibrator is not electronic; it's electrically
And Jer
powered,
says
but
that
it's not
household appliances
electronic.
are like toasters and microwaves, but I don't have any of those that are battery operated, so that doesn't
Electronic-
count.
I
Electronic
thought I was
refers to-
pedantic.
suggests circuitry and circuit boards and discrete components. It's a off-center motor with a couple of batteries.
I don't know that
It's not
it's my.
electronic.
I wouldn't call it my favourite, but probably the most essential is probably my alarm clock. Well,
Meh.
when I go back to work,
Battery-powered alarm clock.
Do you not
Yes.
use your phone?
That sounds
I
dangerous.
could use my phone, but my alarm clock is a bit louder. It's more likely to awaken me.
Fair
My
enough.
phone's a lot louder than my alarm clock.
See, Hanging with John Wild says my
I was
power
thinking
drill.
battery operated.
Go on.
I was thinking battery operated spatula hands for stool.
Ah.
Sammy
Nice one,
Jenkins
girl.
says weed whacker. Seraph says drill.
Respect.
Yeah,
Respect
Jeffy,
on the drill.
See,
another thing
is
you
it?
could do-
What would it? What would a Roomba count as?
Oh, those
I
are
want
awesome.
I
I don't
want
have
a
one,
Roomba.
but yeah, but they're amazing. They're just like roll around cleaning your floor all the time. That's amazing. I'm sorry, they're cool.
Never Again says my lightweight vacuum that actually picks up Lucky's hair is my favourite at the moment, but all my devices are personal, and Lucky refuses to lift a paw.
Fair.
You could make. Is Lucky a girl or a boy? Do you think you could make them tow something behind them so that when they run around that they clean?
Well, I did have an electric beard trimmer, but obviously there's no call for me to use it right anymore. So
Well, you see, I was thinking about saying my razor because I use a Gillette vibrating razor.
Yeah, but is that an
Oh,
appliance
no.
or a tool?
Well,
Yeah,
is that another
well,
personal item
It's
rather than
not
a
a
household
tool.
item?
no,
Is Gillette still? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was going to say no. I always hated electric razors. They don't just seem to do the job quite right. It's got to be
No,
a
no,
good
no,
old
no.
fashioned like.
No,
nice
not an
fire-
electric razor. Not an electric razor. It's a razor that vibrates. Gillette Fusion.
How is that not
Yeah,
an electric razor, Dave?
yeah,
No,
that's
no, it's not an
still-
electric. An electric razor doesn't shave you.
That counts.
This
That
is not
counts.
computing.
No, no,
sir.
it's,
put- you
it's
put a-
normal
no, you
razor
put a
blades. It's just
You
that.
put a vibrating
A
blade to your throat?
Gillette sensor counts. I
What?
think.
What? As an electric razor?
Agreed, Jenny.
I
That's
think
not
so, yeah.
wise.
That's fucking insane.
No, it's not.
I
It works
don't-
really well. I'm gonna have to
I've got
film
my-
myself shaving now just to demonstrate.
Oh.
How many blades?
I don't know. 7, 10,
Dave,
25.
7.
Why
do we-
I have a question.
I got a nice 5-blade one. Very nice.
I
Are
was
we like
about 3
comparing blades now?
in our razors.
Why isn't
I mean,
this been
even if
featured on that?
it
on
doesn't
that,
matter. We're just still comparing blades. It's like, well, I've got one with 13 blades. I've got one with 12.
I've
don't
taken the
know
piss.
if
They
it's
would
right.
I want to know why.
Before.
I want to know why this hasn't been featured on that website. Why women live longer?
because they're next to each other. Go on, Julie.
It probably has.
Thank you. I have a question, Dave.
Yeah.
What makes your razor vibrate?
A little motor in it that spins.
A little motor that spins. Okay,
What?
so it's not. You don't charge it with anything.
No, you
It's
put a battery
purely
in it.
mechanical.
No, you put a battery in.
You put a battery in.
Yeah, single
Okay,
AA
then it's an
battery.
electric razor, Dave. It's an electric
No, it's
fucking
not.
razor.
What?
Yes,
An
it is.
electric razor is. I've got an electric razor, and I've got a razor that's just razor blades. You can use it without the
Basically-
battery. You can use
basically
it
what
without
Dave has
vibrating.
got-
It just works without vibrating.
What?
It's just.
Well,
What
I can
Dave
use a
has got-
vibrator without batteries in it as well, but it's still an electrical. If you're talking about a razor that vibrates, it's an electric razor.
What?
Well,
it's not.
Why
A,
is
a vibrator without
what's the
without batteries
point?
it just takes
A
a
dildo,
whole lot
yeah.
longer to do its job.
It
Yeah,
depends.
yeah,
If you-
exactly.
The razor
It's
is the
just a
same
dildo,
thing.
but yeah.
I have
Yeah.
thought.
What Dave has
Yeah,
got?
We've all
What-
been desperate. We've all had that moment when we've already cannibalized the TV remote.
What Dave?
Well,
has
not
got-
all of us. I shouldn't speak for
Basically,
everyone.
what Dave has got is a engine from a Scale Electric car that someone has stuck inside of a razor.
Yes, that's exactly
Moving
what
on.
it is.
No, why does it vibrate?
Yeah.
What's the point of a razor vibrating?
Oh, because it just brings up the skin, so you can go in any direction.
There's this tool. I'm not sure of its official name, but it's a series of blades, different shapes of blades, and all it does is vibrate. And when you have a device like that, you can take this blade with no teeth, no sharp edge, and just through its vibration, you can put it up against like wood or something like that, and it'll cut right through it.
Yes.
And so I imagine that they're trying to capitalize on that concept, and boys get hard-ons and stuff when you talk about tools and shit. So
I would be afraid as shit to have that near my face. What the hell? And I'm into some weird shit.
See, Seraph says, I have a razor like that, but I don't get the reason for it
we
vibrating,
go.
so I never use it. It's just meant to bring the skin up. Apparently.
I think we've found where Sarah's hard limit is today.
That's a hard limit. That's a no on me. I call red. Red.
Just out of
That's
interest,
terrifying.
does anyone else understand red?
Probably not. Not most people. I like how Granny
I'm
was
not
only
the
holding
Granny
on.
nodded. I like
Granny
that Granny
called for
nodded.
a move on several minutes ago, so I admire that.
Nerdy says, I use 50 blades in one go, and then just throw them away.
No, you don't.
No, of course he
Liar.
doesn't. Aunt Jess says,
No.
Dave, you mean one of those electric razors that has those weird circular blades? I have one of them. That is not what I am talking about. And the Lone Wonder is now screaming BDSM. Okay, right.
Oh, dear.
BDSM where? Well, sorry, Wes. Sorry, I just woke up.
Does
then.
this show need a safe word? I don't know. Okay, go on.
And no, we use the color code system.
We did. Red is bad. Okay, got it. Stop. Red.
I usually use the color code system because never mind. But that's too personal. No one cares. Moving on. Drink.
Moving on.
Right. In which case, we've still got to answer this question. Given that all our answers so far
We
have
did.
been.
I don't have
We've-
one.
We've all answered it. I said, if not the one thing, if not the marital aid, then the the flashlight.
The flashlight.
Yes.
Jenny,
well, I said about my vibrator.
we can't have that apparently. The chat rebelled.
Apparently
We can't
not.
have.
I don't
That's a
fucking
personal
I
item. We
don't
can't
give
have
a shit
phones
what
either.
it's
Say again.
I disagree
All right,
with the person who made that judgment.
an electric kitchen knife.
An electric kitchen.
Ooh, those are great. Like
How
a carving knife.
Exciting, yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Oh yeah, that's just one of the most exciting things out there. And so much. It's funny. It's so funny to talk about those too.
Jeff, your alarm clock still counts. That does count. Jeff's the only one that goes.
Alarm
My
clock.
granny did too.
Okay.
Sarah,
Well,
I don't buy the concept of a battery-powered alarm clock. It's
Why
just too. That would be just too undependable.
that works very well.
But it does work in case of a power outage.
Yep.
yeah.
True.
And it's batteries in it. 2 AA batteries in it. They've been in there about a year now, quite easily.
He only wakes up once late a year.
It's gonna be weird actually, because at some point I'm gonna have to get used to getting up at 5 a.m. again.
I know.
Oh man, me too.
It's okay. We'll all think about you when we wake up at 12. Sarah.
I'll go with flashlight since no one liked my first answer. Stickers.
Right. There's a lot of flashlights in homes. See, I don't really use a flashlight anymore. I've got a phone.
I don't either, but I have had it happen where the lights went off and my phone died because I sleep during I sleep during the afternoon, and afternoons here in Georgia right now, there's a storm every single day, so the lights go out. So there's a chance my phone will not charge. So I have to have a flashlight just in case.
Who brought up the vibrators aren't an appliance thing?
I don't know, but they're.
I don't know, but I don't like them right now. I'm annoyed with that person, whoever they are.
I think they're suggesting something that counts as a toy, is not an appliance.
No, they are personal electronic devices. It wasn't just a vibrator; it was a phone as well. Doesn't count.
They are kind of technically.
Oh.
They are toys in a way.
That means your razor can't count. That's a
No, it
personal
can't. That was out
device.
as well, pretty much.
And a flashlight is a personal thing. You hold it in your hand, and
Well,
an electric carving knife is.
Yeah, but you share those.
You share, it's whether or not you share
Yeah,
them.
that's a fair point, Granny.
People share razors,
No, they don't.
don't they?
No.
And if you clean it, you can
Youngstop
share
and
a
I do.
vibrator.
Do you? All of them?
Yeah, we share razors. Yeah, they have a different one for their face, but yeah, we share one for the. We've been known to, actually not all the time, but I'll buy like a pack.
TMI.
And they take one.
I
You're
don't
right,
even
that's
share
true.
razors with parts of my body.
TMI.
Sorry. And they would be absolutely mortified that I told you guys that, so I'm going to stop talking.
Just sharing all their personal information. Poor junk shop. They're not even on
I
here.
know. They are such a private person, and I'm so not. It's bad. It's the one place, it's the one way we're not compatible. It's terrible. Okay. Please, next question, please.
Next, moving on. Drink.
Bye.
Before I dig this
dinner.
hole any deeper.
That's fine. Okay. Question 1065.
Wow.
What is your least impressive achievement that you can remember?
How many times have I appeared on this show now?
70 maybe? I don't know. I haven't got it in front of me. We're getting close to 70 times. Is that an achievement? That's the problem. Achievement is the problem.
Placing in my first grade.
I won't say it. I won't say it.
I'm having trouble
I'll
defining.
I'll DM it to you.
What qualifies something as an accomplishment?
Winning my first grade spelling bee, but then losing the school wide one because I panicked and forgot how and thought that I lost on a very simple word, and it was very embarrassing. No, it was what? I kept thinking if I put an H in it, it'll be wrong. I was 6, okay? I kept thinking if I say an H, it'll be wrong, and I don't know why. I think it's just
I understand.
anxiety.
No,
I
Thank you.
sat there in like first grade. We used to do a reading circle. They'd get about 7 to 10 kids in a circle, and each one would read a little bit of Dick and Jane. And I used to have so much trouble with all the W and WH words. I couldn't recognize what versus where versus why. And it was mortifying.
Yeah, it was. The thing is, I knew how to spell it, but it was just the pressure of the moment. And I said WAT, and then I was so relieved when they asked me to leave the stage. So, that's my least. Yeah, that's my.
Okay.
I was 6 and bad at a spelling bee.
Seraph says getting 2 hours of sleep. It's hardly an achievement. I mean, Julie managed 3.
That means
Nerdy
it's a minor achievement. If it's hardly an achievement, you said minor, so it counts.
But it's got to be an achievement. I don't know whether you count it as an achievement.
Hey! It has to be a minor achievement. That's a minor achievement.
Yeah. What you don't know is how much this person has worked and how much they've done, and then gotten 2 hours of sleep. So it might have been, if you've got a newborn at home, for example, 2 hours of sleep. Oh my gosh, that's a gift, right? Yeah.
Inquisitive Andre has the definitive answer.
I pooped in the potty.
Well done.
Okay, well done,
well
you.
Done.
I mean, pooping is a minor achievement. Pooping in the potty makes it a major achievement.
It does.
So that doesn't qualify for IQ.
It makes you equal to a cat now.
I would say that would be completely dependent on the psychological year of the person doing the pooping.
Nerdy says, well done. Nerdy said, I think my most impressive achievement is getting up in the morning, but my least impressive one would be getting up too early in the morning. Ilya says, being able to toggle the light switch in the middle. Not up, not down, but in the middle. That takes skill.
That's cool.
That actually does take some skill, I think.
Yeah.
Depends on the switch, to be fair. Jefferson Spatchcock says, I completed Maya Briggs' personality inventory in a class. I don't know what that is.
I don't either, but it sounds cool.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds that's impressive.
I was thinking my least whatever.
Go on. Least impressive achievement.
Breathing.
Breathing? I'm not sure that's an achievement. I mean,
well,
it is if one has trouble.
If pooping is, breathing is.
Pooping isn't. It was just funny.
Well, plus, if you watch the Jane Fonda, let's see now, which one is it? It's one of Jane Fonda's workout videos where she says, don't forget to breathe. Hey, Aubrey, you're great at breathing. I've watched that one so many times.
Hanging with John Wild says, true story, I had sex with Britney Spears years ago. Very true. I used to hang out with celebs like that in Orlando, and it happened at a party. I don't believe you.
I don't believe how I see.
Is he slut shaming Britney there, by the way?
Well, he's saying it's
I don't
his
think
least
so. I
impressive
think he's
achievement.
bragging about a celeb poll, but I don't really care.
No.
Yeah, but he's saying it's the way he said it, because this is just supposed to be the least impressive accomplishment. It kind of implies that Britney's easy.
Fair. That's a good point.
Or not worth the effort.
But he's also implying that he did it with a lot of celebrities too. So maybe she's the one he's least impressed with.
Lone Wanderer says, I reenacted the Forrest Gump Elvis dance and won a Coke.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm proud of you.
That's cool. Yeah, well done.
Oh, God.
Sammy says, I read the Bible cover to cover.
Actually, I think that I don't know. I've done that, and I do feel that's an achievement just for endurance.
Just slogging through it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've read the Bible multiple times, and I didn't get shit out of it, except for atheism. Yay!
Yay! Me too.
Yeah.
Well, I did Christianity anyway. Go ahead.
Says,
I won a Nancy Reagan lookalike contest at a counter inaugural ball in 1980.
Oh my God! That was amazing.
And all I did was stand on stage and drool.
Oh, that's amazing! Oh,
and I won a teeny weeny gun.
That's great.
Jeff.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe winning the egg and spoon race at school sports day or something.
I always won the egg and spoon race.
Well, there you go. See what I mean? It's not much of an accomplishment, is it?
I was good at the egg and spoon race. I was bugger all good at anything else. Egg and spoon, I could do that.
Okay, I finally came up with something.
Go on.
I won an award for most memorable sink at a contest to build a boat that would float out of cardboard and duct tape.
Oh.
Yeah,
And mine
it's doable. It's doable.
And you're saying, but it was the most memorable of the sinking of the cardboard duct tape. But okay, got it.
Are we talking about?
Did you get to wax the cardboard at all?
No.
Oh, that's
no. If you cover the cardboard in enough, you cover the cardboard in enough duct tape.
You didn't have enough duct tape to cover it.
Okay.
Yeah, they were all doomed.
Your duct tape? That's not nice.
What difference right now? But what difference? Are we talking like a person actually had to be in this thing and it floated?
No, the boats were only about 6 inches long.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could do that.
Oh, that's not as impressive.
I told you it wasn't impressive.
It's not supposed to be. That's the point.
Right,
exactly. I was about to say this could be quite. I don't know if I told anyone. I actually my college qualifications were in like shipwright. So
were they?
Yeah.
Nice.
How the fuck I managed to pass that? Because I'm so shit with my hands, so I don't know.
How? Okay, go ahead. Never mind.
Right, I've completely changed. Loyal says I've
That
never
explains
achieved
your
anything.
lack of interest in marstation.
What? I missed the first part of that.
I didn't say I'm not interested in it. It's just that it's not to the same degree as a lot of other people.
He hasn't taken it up professionally yet.
No. It's more sex. It's actually more sex. I'm at least less interested in that. So.
Spooky says I've been on Critical Questions. That's really not an achievement. Sammy said I won a sexy butt contest at high school 70s disco.
Nice.
Ilya says I won a lip sync contest to Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice a long time ago.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why. I want
awesome.
to see that.
I do
want to see that.
Does she want to come up?
I actually want to hear Ilya sing the song, actually, now that I think about it.
Never Again says, I remember it. I won Klutz of the Year award at a beer and pizza party at Schwab one year. It was also the year I won the Save Our Ass award.
I mean, hey, it counts.
IQ says Neil gave me a wrench. You've got to walk into a room and you get a wrench.
Yeah.
That's good. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hanging with John.
I mean, he gave me one too, if that says anything about that accomplishment, but yeah.
Gary says, a Critical Cripple read one of my live chat comments once. You could super chat. Hanging with John Wild says, met Donald Trump once, not very impressive. Nerdy says, I managed to tie my shoes using a grown-up knot. Is that not a normal knot?
I'm
Is that one of those fancy knots?
Good for you.
I'm not going to call that meeting Trump an achievement. When you didn't even shoot the bastard.
Did you or punch him?
I am assuming this was before he was president.
Well, yeah, at least punch him.
I mean, I do like the Jen Aldridge's story.
Yeah, I did too.
Lived around him in New York. She regularly ended up screaming at him because he was in the way.
Yep.
I could see that for some reason.
Nerdy says, one time I even put my underpants on the right way round. I don't believe
That's
it.
kind of nerdy.
Well done.
Mouthpig says, I dressed the baby correctly.
Yay!
Ooh, that's actually kind of a big one.
Yeah.
They
Right.
move around a lot.
They do.
They
Sarah.
do. They're sweet. But...
I forgot my answer. I'll just go with I reached level 20 on Fallout 76. Yay!
Were you speaking another language just then? I didn't understand. What did you say? I'm sorry. I didn't understand what you said at all, Sarah. I think it's a game about a game I don't play, and that might be why.
I reached level 20 on Fallout 76.
Okay, I played Fallout. I played the first one. I don't think I've played anything since. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, awesome. Well done.
I completed Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on my first attempt.
On your first attempt with no deaths.
Yep. No cheats, nothing. My first
cheat,
attempt.
but you didn't. You just went all the way through.
Yep.
Wait, he did what?
Yeah. It's not that impressive because it seemed to be a story that a lot of people had at the time as well. Even though I still maintain that the Sega Mega Drive is the greatest console ever made. But
why is that? It's not as good as the Dreamcast.
I don't know. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing. It might not hold up quite so well now. But
well, this is the problem you've got.
The amount of fun I've actually had playing a machine, there's nothing that's topped the Mega Drive ever.
No, I know what you mean though.
Do you guys remember? You talk about accomplishments. That tidal wave in Indonesia.
Yeah.
I survived that.
What? Oh my God, you were there?
Where were you?
No, I was in Wisconsin.
I have to.
I have to win it, Jenny.
I have to win it. I have to win her. I have to win her. I'm sorry now. Now Jenny said that. I have survived over 30 predicted raptures.
Exactly. See,
I fucking win.
And the best way to piss people off is to make
and a Mayan apocalypse.
Mayan apocalypse. Nerdy says, I managed to leave.
Win.
You win. That's it. I managed to leave a bag of potatoes long enough, such that when I opened the cupboard, it swarmed with flies.
Ew! Gross, Nerdy.
I managed to leave some fish heads in the shed, so that when I went in there and opened it, it was just full of maggots crawling everywhere.
I was about to say
that was horrible.
Eat them up, yum.
No, for crabbing. Aunt Jaya said, I won some presidential something or other for academic achievement signed by Bill Gates. That sounds like a good thing.
No, Bill Clinton.
No, Bill Clinton.
I think it would have been signed by Bill Clinton because Bill Gates
what it says
was president.
Hold on.
I was reading what it says and my brain went somewhere else. I'm not being controlled.
Your brain, you have Bill Gates on the brain. Okay.
I spent yesterday with people.
Is that what it is? They put the microchip in you, and he's like controlling your brain now.
I spent yesterday being shouted at about how it was all how the conspiracy and Bill Gates was behind it, and Bill Gates funds everything, and any research that proves the people wrong is funded by Bill Gates.
Yes, I had a question written about that, about the fact that it was Bill Gates, Fauci, and Hillary Clinton were in it together to hide the fact that Hillary Clinton was supposed to be going to jail, and some China.
This makes me so angry on so many levels. We got to just go to the next question, or I'm going to start ranting.
I survived. I've survived every Republican administration since 1954.
Well done. Seriously,
so far.
That's not an unimpressive achievement. That's a freaking achievement.
Chad says,
amazing. We're not all dead.
I once accidentally made Pruno in my trumpet case using apple juice I had forgotten about. What's Pruno?
I have no idea.
Oh, did the apple juice just ferment? Because you left it in there so long?
Apparently so.
Nag says, I had a good one. I have survived viral and bacterial meningitis. Only one I haven't had is fungal. Well, you must finish the collection.
Done.
Well,
I had a good friend die from meningitis. Well done on you for surviving that.
Spooky says, I have a penis, for which people congratulated him.
I'm congratulating him because I'm proud of Spooky.
Here's the problem, Spooky. I'm fairly certain that almost everyone on this panel has got their own penis that they keep in a drawer that's probably better.
Hey.
I have a number of jokes I could apply to that, but I'm not going to at this time.
Should we do the next question?
Yes, please.
Next, moving on. Drink. I don't know what the other ones are.
Apart from the fact that I really want Jeff to be back.
Well, let's wait for Jeff then. Let's play the Jeopardy music, but not. We'll get copyright striked and just wait for Jeff then.
We can sing it though.
Can we? Is that okay? I've actually
to a degree.
Especially if you miss most of the notes like that rendition.
I mean, we can add it with the Mario theme. No, that's not Mario. Fuck.
Apparently, I have. Yeah, I was going to say, did it? No, that's not. I don't know if I can't. It's gone now. Right. Chad says, yes, Pruno. Underwhelming achievement, I think. Pruno is prison wine.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Dave, did you answer, by the way?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Nerdy said, I think... Nerdy said... Just wait. Nerdy said, I think Dave's answer should be that he once answered one of his own questions.
I mean, that could be your answer, but what is your actual answer?
Santi says, I won a fishing tournament because out of the 50 peeps participating, I got tiny fish.
David's ignoring you. That makes me sad.
Well done, Santi.
Well done, Santi.
That's awesome, Santi.
Oh, what's my least? I probably my RSA qualifications.
RSA?
RSA, do not have them in the States. They are...
What is that?
Like typing qualifications that if you were going to be a secretary in the 80s...
I have one of those.
There you go. Right, if you were going to go down the clerical administrative route, there's loads of qualifications in RSA you can get.
So it's like it's a certification in, like, say, typing and shorthand.
Yes,
and such.
right. But the point is, while I was doing my computing thing, my college let me do... I used to
be certified in Microsoft itself.
Yeah. My college used to let you do other things. If they did a test, if they were certified to do tests, and if you were doing a course with them, you could take anything. So one lunchtime, I went down, and I spent an hour, and I just did every possible test I could from RSA, and ended up with a load of qualifications.
I did a lot of the tests because you really only had to pay if you passed the test, and also like the tests were like $5 each with my school, so I did a lot of them too. So I was certified for a bunch of stuff, but that's like been 10 years ago, so I'm not certified anymore.
And it never hurts to have certification. I
am, however, in almost every state.
Can we do the next question?
We're waiting for Jeff.
I am licensed almost
God,
every
how much longer do we have to wait for this boy? Well, then I have to go.
He said 2 minutes, but that was 5 minutes ago.
Oh, go ahead, yeah, because...
No, we need you to come back. Hanging with John Wild says, when I was a teen, I won the National Uno Championship.
All right. What's so important that you need me back?
Well, we don't now because Jenny had to go to the restroom.
Sammy says, in Australia, it's Responsible Services of Alcohol Certification, RSA. It's needed to serve alcohol. Loyal says, nice. I passed my theory test. I'm assuming you mean driving?
Quite possibly.
Theory of driving? Wait, what?
It just occurred to me I don't know where Loyal is.
Do you not have an equivalent of that in, like, US, like, because you call it, like, driver's ed or something?
Yeah, we have driver's ed.
Because you have, like...
But you don't, the thing is, you don't have to take driver's ed. Well, in some states you do. But, like, in Tennessee, you don't have to take driver's ed to get a license, but you do have to take a test at the DMV, or you have to take a written test and a driving test.
Georgia has giving children license without a test.
What there is in the UK is there's two parts of the test that they call theory and practical. Well, they've also say about 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, they also introduced hazard perception in this, which is like a computer thing. But the theory test was you were given 35 questions, all multiple choice. You had to score 30 or more to pass that. So that's sort of halfway to your driving license. Then you had to actually do the test where you actually go out on the road and perform all the manoeuvres.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah.
But there's also like a thing you do on a computer screen now called hazard perception.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
That's just part of the theory test.
Yeah.
I thought that was just part of the theory test.
That is part of the theory test, but that was something that was added not that well. I'd say a few years ago, 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I didn't have to do that. I'm old. I did when I said I've never learned to drive a car. It's probably going to be something that I have to put on my to-do list. I have a motorcycle license. I rode motorcycles for ages. Julie?
Oh, sorry. I just have a quick question. If you like, say you live in London and you get your driver's license, if you move somewhere else, in the country?
No,
In England, do you have to get a new license?
No, it's national here. It's not.
That would be so much easier.
Yeah,
no, here it's state.
It would be so much easier.
If you move to another state, you have to retake everything.
You also have to register your vehicle too, and some states usually take about it.
I'll explain. By and large, all laws here are, like UK. Now, okay, there are some differences to say law in Scotland to England in certain.
Sure.
But by and large, it is, it is, because all like that, let's say England's divided into counties now, separate counties. They're all part of England, whatever. All part of, they don't have their own separate laws or they've got local authorities, but they're not really like local governments, like because the United States is like a federation of states, effectively.
Yes, they are. They should be separate countries, really. Right. Next question.
Well, again, Dave.
Let's get on to the next question, or we'll be here forever.
This one forever.
Yeah, I can learn about the states and their entrance and
if they were and if they were separate countries, I wouldn't exist because my parents never would have met because my dad wouldn't have been in the U.S. Army and they met at a USO. So
states rats, y'all.
Well, fuck that.
Right. Next question.
Sorry.
Come on.
Question 1066.
Oh,
would
the Battle of Hastings.
Would you? Question 1066.
I'm so excited.
Battle stand for bridge.
Question.
All right, come on, just settle down.
Question 1066. Would you rather take an arrow to the eye, leaving you half blind, or an arrow to the knee, leaving you crippled?
Knee.
I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I took an arrow to the knee.
Exactly.
Very good.
I don't think it's very likely that you could take an arrow to the eye and not have it pretty much pierce the orbital socket and go through the brain.
No, because you can go down. Arrow comes down like that. Down there, no problem.
It is possible, but highly unlikely, I would say.
It happens in the question. Otherwise, it would make the eye. No one would want it. The question, as I originally wrote it, was: would you rather take an arrow to the eye and die, or take an arrow to the knee and leave you crippled? And no one would have picked the eye.
And but we could still die of infection of either.
Why even bother with the arrow? Why not just ask, would you rather be half blind or half crippled?
I do like
because it's question 1066.
In 1066, you could have died from an infection based on a bug bite.
The arrow to the eye thing just makes me think of the video game Medieval.
And we don't know if Harold actually died from the arrow to the eye.
No, I know we don't.
Yeah. Even in the Bayeux Tapestry, he may have been the man cut down by the guy on.
Yes, the name is under it. I'm well aware.
There's
I take in my hands the land of England. It was like the best PR stunt in history.
Sir Daniel Fortescue from Medieval, the video game, died from an arrow to the eye.
Okay.
You see, Julie, you just brought up an interesting point. I've always wondered why England never refers to its citizens never refer to themselves as Ings.
I
want to know why the Israelis never refer to themselves as Israelites.
That people from England are Ings, ENGs,
Angles.
Oh, yeah. English comes from Angles, as in Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah. Angles.
But the Saxons invaded. I know. They invaded.
They spell it that way? If that was true, wouldn't they spell it that way?
Because language is a living thing and it changes. In fact, 1060. The reason I know so much about the Battle of Hastings is because that's when William the Conqueror came over, and that's when French was introduced into Middle English, and that's when it went from being. That's when, actually, I'm sorry, into Old English. And that's when English. It went from being Old English to Middle English. Yes. And that's very important because that's what makes English such a complicated language, because it was like a Germanic dialect before, and then it got the Latinate French put in. And
I only know one expression in Old English, which is which means fate is all, which is we'd bid full aid. which is
nice.
That's English. Now it's a which is almost again Old English is almost a cross between like it's more Germanic, but it's got a slight Gallic hint to it as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I could talk about this all day, so we should.
So it's pretty much just the language of mutts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like most languages.
Most
honestly.
languages, I was going to say.
Okay.
But what's interesting is that we ended up with 2 words for lots of things.
Yeah,
so
we did.
we have lamb and mutton because we have
it's an extremely versatile
language and one from the other. Where did the Battle of Hastings take place? Not Jeff.
Battle.
How is that not Jeff?
On a beach. On a beach.
I got in there before you bloody said it. Okay.
I'm guessing Hastings.
Yeah, Hastings. I'm guessing.
No.
Damn it! All right, a beach. I know they landed there. They landed on a beach.
It was a place called Battle.
Yeah.
It was the Battle of Battle.
Seriously?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
that's amazing.
to be fair, it was named after it. To be fair, there's a place there called Battle Abbey.
Yeah, that's wow. That's a
let
great.
me just catch up on the chat. We're like 3 pages behind. Harmonica. What?
And it was the last time that the UK or Britannia had been invaded by a foreign force, except for maybe COVID.
Actually, technically, the United States has actually landed foreign troops on English soil.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
well, as an invading army, or as
more raids during. It was either the War of Independence or the 1812 War, but Americans were landed.
Really
skirmishes.
And there have been. There was the invasion. There was obviously the Dutch invasion of Britain, in which led to William of Orange being crowned. There was. Oh damn it! Because there was a French invasion around King John's time because we actually had a King Louis for about a year, and then he decided to go back home, and it was kind of agreed that he never was really king. But technically, we had a King Louis of England for a year.
Right. Let me catch up with the chat. Harmonica Man, knee and knee.
King Louis always sounds like a gangster out of New Orleans.
No, Gary knee. Loyal, critical. I'm already blind in one eye. Brainbug, knee.
Aww.
Stool, I will waft the arrow away with my spatula hand. Serious.
Well, I'm going to answer that.
Stool's here, huh?
Bear in mind my previous, so should we say, belief system. That I believe that I could say I sacrificed my eye for knowledge.
Yes. Sammy says knee.
Just like Odin.
There you go. Most arrows would be on a downward trajectory, so they would survive them.
Well, I suppose with the massive arrows going off at once, there's a chance for deflection that would.
Well, the English longbow was
like
devastating.
from the sky.
That was devastating military technology for the time.
Yeah, I to be honest, with the area you're talking about is a little bit before the longbows. You probably understand that. I mean, there were arrows.
Wait. Did you know that the later Roman soldiers had lawn darts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that they all threw up.
Lawn darts.
So they weren't lawn darts, but they looked like lawn darts.
No, weren't they spears?
They had something.
They're like this long.
I thought you said long dongs, and I'm trying.
No, they were like darts.
If they had to build like
with the metal spike on the end.
They did.
And they threw them up. And the second and third row would throw them up, and they come down on the advancing army. So they had to choose between shielding from above, which would leave you open to the first row from underneath, or shielding from the front. It was no idea how effective they are.
It was called the Plumbata, I believe it was called.
I can't remember.
Wow.
Jenny, the guys are oblivious.
What?
Yeah.
What happened?
But the classical era that most people refer to, they had something called the pilum, which was like a javelin.
Yeah.
Wow, they're still talking about phallic-shaped weapons, so this could go on for a while.
I'm amused.
Do each of you own a codpiece?
No.
No.
And why not?
I have a swan.
I'm trying to No, see, this is the problem, Dave.
Get educational. We're not allowed to be. I told you.
Educational on this show, and we should know better, boy.
Right. Okay.
You know, when you start talking history, I can go off on one.
Yes.
I get off on history too, Jeff. It's okay.
I was told off about putting a question in. Okay. No one else in the panel will know absolutely anything about this question apart from Jeff.
I make history, but I get off.
Julie seems to know a lot about it.
Yeah, let's find out.
I can't remember what the question was.
The Battle of Hastings. Yeah.
No. It wasn't the question.
That's
It wasn't
because
this
I
question.
taught English. That's the only reason I know.
It wasn't this
okay.
question.
Anything about that.
Question. I'm going to say the I. And Dave, what was your answer?
We haven't finished the chat. We're like pages behind on the chat. You wouldn't let me finish.
Sorry, go ahead.
Hanging with John Wilde is I. Loyal, the I. As long as they can have their blind eye already. Then they're arguing what the Brits are called. Loyal's family, that's fine. Matt Pig shouts at me. Ilya says half blind. I mean, I kind of already am anyway. Am I going to skip?
Now, half blind. Does that mean one eye doesn't work of the pair,
Yes.
or that both of them are reduced 50% in effectiveness?
That's a fair question because I'm legally blind.
Are you?
Yes, without my glasses, I have 20/1600 vision.
And how would you deal with just one eye as well?
I was too.
With just one, I would still be legally blind.
Well,
I would
yes.
just have the depth perception.
I hope you get cataracts then.
Why?
Oh, that's not nice.
Because
Charming.
when you get
she's
cataracts
right.
and they replace them, they can put different lenses in there and correct your vision.
Yeah, but then I have to go through eye surgery.
I went from legally blind without my glasses to being able to drive without my glasses.
Yeah. So did my mom because she had corneocosis, but yeah.
I may as well be.
It was really cool. I was very happy for it.
If I lose sight as a result of the arrow of the eye, do I get a nice cute guide dog?
You don't. You only lose
I don't
sight
know.
of one eye.
I really wanted to hear what Granny was trying to say.
I might be legally blind.
I was trying to say that Jenny's right. I've had cataract surgery in both eyes, and I can see so much better. I only need my glasses to be able to read things that are small, like the chat. If I wasn't wanting to read the chat, I wouldn't even need the glasses.
How long ago did you have your surgery?
I had the first eye about 3 years ago, and I had the second eye about 1.5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
They actually
Granny.
gave me a choice of how I wanted the lenses to work, what range I
Yeah.
wanted.
How
to
you
have
wanted them to
focus.
work? I want bionic ones that zoom.
That would be amazing. I need that. I need that for my art because, like, I need my glasses typically to see far away, but I've gotten to where I need to take my glasses off to be able to see like the finer details for when I'm doing art, and it annoys the shit out of me.
Where's it go there? Granny, what's your answer?
The knee.
The knee. Seraphim.
Knee.
Very good. If I get to pick the knee, I'll go with the knee. I've been no worse off.
Well, Dave, you know what? Dave, if the arrow comes your direction, it's going to hit your ball.
I will throw myself in front of it.
Might be okay.
Right. Next question, I think. Question 1067. Where is the riskiest place
I know, right?
you have got up to no good?
The riskiest place I've got up to no good?
Yes.
As in...
Define no good, sorry.
No?
Yeah.
That is ambiguous for a reason.
Nope. Okay, Walgreens.
Walgreens.
What's that question again? I got it.
What is the riskiest place you have got up to no good?
I've got up to no good.
Yes.
Riskiest. Oh. Okay, I got it.
We're allowed to define no good on our own, so...
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, you're up to no good.
But you might have to explain it.
I
Most likely
shan't.
place that you could have been caught.
I don't know the statute of limitations,
Something.
so... I'm just saying Walgreens, and that's all I'm saying.
Well, I can't answer the question then, either way you look at it, because if you're thinking along the dirty lines, then I've never done anything along those lines. If you're thinking anything along the no good in another way, technically what I did, even though it was a long time ago, technically it could still get me in trouble. So I'm not going to say.
Fair.
Lone Wanderer says a golf course. Sarah says I've never been up to no good. Lone Wanderer says a park. Then the woods. Mathpig says define no good. Hanging with John Wild says as in sex. Never Again says Julie, I've always served my time and I'm not saying either. I've already served my time and I'm not saying either.
Well done, Never Again.
Harmonica Man says sex in a military van on the White House driveway. Don't give a shit if you don't believe me.
That's
mine would be
kind of amazing.
Who said that?
Harmonica
Man.
I'm sorry, missed that. What? Who?
Jefferson Spatchcock says I always...
Harmonica Man.
Harmonica.
Oh, okay. My new hero.
I almost got trampled by... I almost got trampled by sacred deer in Nara, Japan. The way the law works, the deer are protected and I would be held liable. Sacred deer are unpleasant.
Oh, dear.
Nice pun there,
Sorry.
Julie.
No, I know. That was totally on accident. It was terrible. I'm sorry.
That's both terrible and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
That's terribly hilarious. We'll go with that.
I need the chat to vote on it to decide which would count. In high school, I had a master key to the entire building, and I could go anywhere, anytime, 24/7.
Oh, you were a badass.
I was, and we used it to break into the office at night and use their equipment and materials to print an underground newspaper for the school, which the school was trying to find out who didn't know who was publishing it and wanted to find out and bust these kids and bring this horrible seditious as they said publication to an end.
See, what I find funny, before you carry on, what I find funny is I had one of the educational establishments that I'm unwilling to admit to that I attended had exactly the same master key and abused their facilities and their network.
I haven't finished.
Go on.
The other one was I smoked a joint. This would have been in like 1984, 83, 84. No, I'm sorry. This would have been like 1977. I smoked a joint outside of the boyhood home of Ronald Reagan in Dixon, Illinois, which also happened to be the town square.
How about you be a generation that doesn't need a crutch? Oh, that's fantastic! Yes.
So chat, you decide which one should.
I will say it's not quite what Pablo Escobar did when he became like the most wanted man in America and released that photograph of him and his family outside the White House. But it's still pretty damn badass, Jenny.
That is badass. The first one's my favorite, but honestly, the joint outside of Reagan, like the guy who basically started the war on drugs and all of that. That's amazing.
Don't forget when you said it was before he was president.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. Oh, wait.
He
was president in the 80s.
No, that's right. It couldn't have.
It
was president.
Yeah, because I remember his second election.
That?
Didn't Nixon start the war?
I only had that job till '83, so it had to be between 80 and 83.
I think you're right.
I'm just forgetting what year.
No, it's okay. I think you're right. I think Nixon started the war on drugs.
Anyway.
But Reagan had that. Reagan had that famous quote that he said, where that you would come. He quoted some young person who had said to him like, you were the generation that would come home and have a martini, and that was your crutch. Why can't this be ours? And he said, and I say to that, how about you be a generation that doesn't need a crutch? And it's like, motherfucker, we're not going to be sober all the time, always. It's just not culturally feasible.
No.
Anyway.
Really.
Well, after I was done with
just
the joint
say
and
no.
smacked up real good, I went and visited the museum and signed in.
That's awesome.
Right,
Did you say just say no? I was a dare kid.
Nancy said, yeah.
The newspaper one. By everyone says newspaper. Underground.
Yeah,
newspaper
the newspaper thing is so awesome. That's by far the best thing. That's amazing.
Aunt Jess,
all right,
in front of
in that case, I'll also top that story off with. I knew I was trans back in high school, even though that was like the early 70s, late 60s. And I was just dying of curiosity, and I had to go into the girls' locker room and see what it was like.
Oh, very cool. It's nice to hear about someone infiltrating a girl's locker room without nefarious purposes. Like, that's nice.
Yeah, I didn't do anything.
Actually, that's a lovely story.
Strange. I waited until I knew no one was anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Aunt Jess says, in front of a police station, actually it was the police station that Chop/Chaz closed down. What's Chop/Chaz?
I have no clue, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah. No idea. Brainbug says, just off screen while playing Critical Questions. I don't believe you.
I do.
Listening to us has got to be a passion killer. I'm sorry. I don't believe it, because that's Critical Questions is a passion killer.
Mm.
My answer is the bottom of the ocean.
The bottom of the ocean?
Yes.
How deep?
How did you get up to no good at the bottom of the ocean?
Very carefully.
I don't know why it happened, but I was narked out of my mind from nitrogen narcosis, and I didn't realize how bad it was until my husband asked me how much oxygen I had left, and I looked at my gauge and I saw that I had 400 psi, and I was trying to show him 4, and I kept looking at my hand trying to remember, how do you make your fingers do 4?
Oh God!
Oh, honey, I'm so glad you're still here.
You were on monthly gas tanks. What was your dive depth?
Wow.
We weren't that deep. We were only about 60 feet.
Really?
Yes. I don't know why I got narked so badly. I've never had that happen before or since.
Well,
Granny,
how fast you went up?
Granny.
Oh no, we didn't go up fast. At that point, that's when we started our ascent. At that point.
Granny, I have to say, that's an amazing story, but at the same time, I'm disappointed because I was, for some reason, I was envisioning one of Stool's like mermaid things going on there.
No, I didn't see any mermaids.
Which it would have been the right time to.
How do mermaids have sex?
Don't. This is why if you're going to have a mermaid, it has to be the top half. Sammy says, stole the coffer from out the front of the church and bought a pack of Winnie Blues when I was 13. What are Winnie Blues? Are Winnie Blues? I'm guessing ciggies.
They're cigarettes, I think.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Let me guess on my part.
Is that Sammy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Winfield's cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
I used to smoke them, but they don't sell Winfields over here anymore.
They're from... okay, fair enough. Right, what have we got up to? Chad Hall. A street in downtown somewhere Spain that I can't pronounce. A bunch of us were drunk. I helped my captain steal a street sign, coaxed my third officer into stealing a fiberglass swordfish from a shop roof.
Well done.
That sounds fun.
That's the underground paper and everything. Hanging with John Wild said, has sex on the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney? That's probably quite common.
Nice. Why do I look blue? Sorry.
Oh!
Apropos of nothing. Keep going.
You've been smurfed on.
Thank you. Damn it.
You look perfect today.
I hadn't noticed. I was looking at the chat.
Thank you.
Seraphim.
Starbucks.
Oh, nice one. Oh, I've gotten up to no good in the Starbucks, but I worked there. I didn't think about that. Good one. Good one.
What happened in Walgreens?
Oh, nothing. I'm not telling you. I did something impulsive and bad.
Did you?
And I shouldn't have done it. Yeah, and I shouldn't have done it. And I still go to that Walgreens. I don't want them to know.
Would you do it again?
No.
Oh.
I'm medicated now.
I don't want you to answer, but I'm going to bet it was shoplifting.
Just nod.
I said nothing.
I know.
She was just agreeing to the question.
I was
my
annoyed
God.
at how much they charged for lipstick. Okay, it was ridiculous. All I'm saying.
Okay.
It was
Lone
ridiculous.
Wanderers just give me a super chat for $30.
Wow.
Critical questions
Wow.
gave me a reason to get out of bed during this pandemic. Thank you, Dave. Please keep doing what you're doing until you can't anymore. I know it takes a lot of energy from you. Thank you. We love you.
Aww. Thank
That's
you, Lone
very
Wanderer.
nice.
That's so
Oh, that's
sweet.
really cool. That's so cool.
Thank you.
I want to cry.
Don't cry,
It's okay.
don't cry.
You have a right to your feelings.
To be fair, Dave does a good job putting up with us lot every fucking day.
He does.
Have we answered the question?
You have. We should move on to the next one.
No.
I get sad.
Moving on.
Right. You can get angry on the next one.
I wanted Dave to think he was in charge.
Question 1068. If you knew a friend's partner was cheating on them, would you tell them?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God, that's so hard.
That is so hard.
No.
I think
Because then when they get back together, inevitably they're going to hate.
Yeah.
Most of my friends here that I would probably think about that with are all polyamorous too, so it wouldn't matter.
Well, he did specifically say cheating.
Cheating,
So
yes.
you can
Most
be
of them-
poly and still cheat.
You can, yes. Most of them would
Yeah.
be like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me?" Maybe not talk to them for like 2 weeks, but yes, I would tell them because,
Yeah, I probably would, but I'd freaking hate it. I would have to have some really solid proof. I mean, I would have had to have walked in on it.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Have to have
Yeah,
proof.
I would-
and-
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything if it were just a rumor or if I just had a suspicion.
I kind of agree with what Julie has just said there. I'm kind of very loyal to people who are friends of mine. Now, it could be a very difficult thing if I'm torn between two friends, but knowing that I would not like to be cheated upon. Yeah, I probably would tell them because I think it's probably it's such a difficult thing, but
Yeah.
I think I would have to. I would think ethically I would have to if I knew someone who was a friend of mine was being fucking cheated upon and like that, and because the chances are when it all comes out in the wash anyway, because these things will get found out, they find out you knew about it and you didn't tell. You've betrayed.
They're gonna be mad. Yeah, that's
You
true.
Exactly. Most
you
of
have
them
betrayed
just
someone
want
then
me to tell
at
them.
that point, and I am likely to do that. I mean, it could be a very difficult thing if both of them are friends, but I still would lean towards. I would still lean towards telling them. But
I think that covers it.
I know the feeling though of being cheated upon or whatever, and it would make me sick of
Yeah.
The problem is they say
people-
don't shoot the
people I
messenger,
thought were-
and very often
Yeah.
the messenger gets shot.
quite possibly, but sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Jeff, because it is a shit feeling to be cheated on. It's happened to me, and it sucks. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not
Like,
fun.
that's tough. And it does happen in polyamorous relationships too. I've had that happen. I agree with Aunt Jur. I'd actually talk to the cheater about it because, again, like what the fuck?
Yeah. Let me just do the chat quickly. Lone
I
Wanderer
might
says
give
yes,
him
I would.
Yeah.
Back when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was in a workshop group, and it was all about values and stuff like that. And this question was brought up, and I remember it distinctly. Everyone in the group at the workshop was in their 20s or 20s. I was probably one of the younger people there, but every one of us said, and this is why I remember, because we thought it was so interesting, that everyone said, there was like 15 people in the group, that they would never ever betray a confidence and say something.
Well, no, it's not a confidence.
The situation was that you knew both people, okay, and that you would just never enter into that. Now, at my age, having gone through this countless times with friends, I would absolutely tell somebody, because somebody needs to know that's going on. They just do.
I'm very. Can I just say something? I'm very glad about.
I have to catch up. You don't let me. Right.
Poor Dave.
The Lone Wanderer says yes, I
Catch up
would.
then, Dave. Come on.
Lone Wanderer says yes, I would. Matt Pink says we need to talk. Aunt Jer says yes. Never Again says been there, didn't do that. Never Again says she's happy and didn't want to ruin it for her. Ignorance can be bliss. Hanging with John Wild says yes, and I have lately no reason to be a cheater. Sammy says I may bribe them with sexual favours. Joke. I would set something up so they discover for themselves. I think that's probably what I'd try and do.
That's a minute. Wow. All right. Sorry, go ahead.
If they were both my friend, I would say something to the cheater. Godless Granny can confirm this about other places, but in LA I can get a clean divorce for adultery and take everything.
I have to go.
I know. Talk to you later. Thank you for coming.
Bye, Jenny.
See you later, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Brainback says, I'm with Jeff. Harmonica Man says, I would tell. I can't lie for other people. Lying gives me bloody noses sometimes, so I avoid it as much as possible. Seraph, yes, I'd tell them. Don't like cheaters one bit. And then Granny, which we'll get in a minute. Lone Wanderer, there are other factors. What if they got STDs and such? Agreed. Jeff, go.
Right.
That's an important factor as well. Yeah.
Okay. Right, two things. I'm very glad nobody in the room and no one in the chat, even in a really joking, way, has said like blackmail the fucking other person, which is good. Right, but
well, no, Sammy said that in a joking way.
Yeah, jokingly. But here's the thing. I guess if I was to really think about it, my thing would probably be that I would confront the person cheating and say, I'm giving you a week to come clean to your partner. If you haven't, then he's going to find out from me.
That you're going to end your friendship by doing that.
Yeah,
I agree with the sentiment.
Probably. Well, I would say, is it not better though that you hear it from that if you've been cheating on, you hear it from your partner rather than your friend?
Yes.
Yeah, I think ethically.
Do you not give the person who has been cheating, who is doing wrong, the chance to do this the right way themselves?
Yeah.
First?
Here's the thing, though. I've seen that happen. I have tried to do just that, and I have seen that then gives them a week to plant you as a liar.
Exactly. So that person will probably
cover
make
their
it seem like
tracks.
you're the liar, and
there's that consideration, but if we're just talking from a pure ethical basis, it's then it's the thing of where do you place your ethics over a friendship?
I agree, but the point is, within the context you're talking, you're basically talking about ending the friendship anyway, which in the situations I've been in,
either way, but. It's the, I guess that would be. I still think that would be how I would approach it. And I would, to me, I would feel yeah, I'd be sad that I lost a good friend. But at the same time, I could sleep at night.
Yeah.
Knowing that I gave this person the opportunity to do the right thing.
Yes.
They did not do the right thing, painted me whatever way. Either way, I've done the right thing. Now I'm sad I've lost a friend about it. Yeah, I am. But
the person will be like, "Well, you're jealous." And that.
Within myself, I would feel right amongst myself, and ultimately, you know, I come to the conclusion that generally, it's only, you know, I'm not too bothered what people say, but as long as the people actually fucking matter, know the truth about me, you know, that's kind of where I'm at, and I would have no issues with ethically with taking that approach.
Yeah. Never again. No, Antjer says to the panel on behalf of the chat, let Dave read the chat. Never again says, but I have sort of blackmailed the cheater, told him that if he ever hurt her, I'd kill him. Brainbug says they've already ruined the friendship by being a sack of crap. 9 o'clock Hero says send anonymous incriminating photos. Antjer says I would feel uncomfortable being friends with a cheater.
Why are you photographing the illicit
You're
stuff?
You're assuming that, first of all, you're assuming that there's photographic evidence of this or whatever. I mean, to be honest, if I did have photographic evidence, I would still take the same approach, and then the partner who has got the wit to try and frame me as a liar then gets busted on the fucking spot if I've got photographic evidence. So I still keep that friendship.
That's a great Photoshop you got there, Jeff.
You know, so
that'd be good. There's a brain bug. I have a camera on me always. Good luck trying to paint me an ass as a liar. I find it really interesting,
that's
by the way.
Fair point.
Right. The fact that the people that are younger than me, in fact, probably younger than most people here, have got used to having a camera on them. I haven't.
Yeah,
I don't think to pull my camera out.
It's funny, Dave, because we're roughly the same age, and I didn't even think about that. I've got a camera right here. Like
I don't think to pull my camera out when something happens. It's just not in my head because it's not something that's not run yet. Yeah. You look at 20-year-olds now, it's the first thing they do when something happens. Because it's in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know, even if you're really young, you walked in on a situation like that, though, that your first instinct is to...
Okay, firstly, I don't think you're going to walk in on the situation. I think you're going to see them together in a bloody restaurant or something.
Well,
that's the sort of photos I was thinking of.
They were just there as friends, though.
That's then when you need to establish is there cheating going on or is this just a friendship?
Yes, I know entirely. But my point being,
the cheating part obviously comes when there is clear physical contact or whatever.
My point being, you might know that they are cheating, but the photos I imagined you would have would not be of them doing something illicit.
Explicit, yeah. Well, my thing about it also is that the times that I have had this happen, when I did tell the other person, they just thought I was jealous and just ignored me. Yes. Because you're just jealous. I'm like, not really, because he's an asshat or she's an asshat.
That's how it was pitched. That's how it was pitched when I've told people.
Either way, you confront. Either way, it could. Any way you construct this scenario, you could lose a friendship here. Any way you do this, if you keep quiet and ignore it, and it could come out later that you knew about this and you said nothing. You've lost a friendship. If you confront
it doesn't matter. You've lost it. And you pretty much lost it being put in that position anyway. And like Julie says,
and you could confront the person with incontrovertible evidence. They might still be blinded by love. That's the risk. Whatever way you do this, you could lose a friendship. So it strictly comes down to what is the best approach you can take ethically.
There you go. Cheater can explain by the gaslighting, definitely. Lone Wanderer says, next time it happens, secretly record the conversation. Again, if you confront the cheater, you can do that. Lone Wanderer says, I knew a private investigator who would take seemingly innocent pictures, but it was in order to establish that the cheaters knew each other rather than a sex act. It was enough to take to family court.
Ouch.
Yeah. Right. We have got 3 questions to go.
Cool.
What time is it? How long have we been? Too long already. If anyone wants to jump in, they can do. As long as I know who you are. Difficult Jenny spot. Right. The next question is a complicated
one. Who in the chat wants to jump in, I suppose?
Well, that's why I gave them the link. We can jump in if they want. And they don't even have to do a full episode. They only have to do 3 questions. Right. We're echoing. Why are we echoing?
I don't know. It's not me.
Hold on. It's got to be either me, Dave, or Julie here because Seraphim and Granny are muted.
Yes.
Well, do you hear an echo right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do not.
I do not know.
I think. Hold on. Let me mute myself. Try it.
I don't hear
wasn't
one.
hearing an echo.
No, I wasn't. After I said I didn't hear an echo. After I said I heard an echo.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I think we're good. I think it was just a glitch. It was StreamYard being weird. I mean, did you watch it? See the start of Chris's stream? His voice was out of sync by about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it kind of caught up. I think StreamYard's been a bit funny. Right. Next question. Question 1069.
My goodness.
Should the media, including social media, be held liable for the messages it transmits? And given the difficulty of ascertaining links between specific acts and individual messages, how could this be achieved?
If we don't have freedom of the press, we have no checks and balances. And given the current administration in the United States, I have to say no to that.
Mm.
So what about the people that are distributing that there is a cure to COVID?
Hold on. Yeah, there's two.
If there's a cure to COVID, the press will report that.
The press are reporting it.
The press are reporting it. The press are reporting this.
And Twitter,
you're talking about
all over Facebook.
Yeah,
I do. See. I don't know where I fall on this. I really don't, because I think a free media is absolutely important to any democratic society. However, we've seen that the media cannot fucking police themselves either to be responsible. Little under 10 years ago in Britain, remember the scandals that came out about the media in this country? Dave, I don't know, you probably remember the phone hacking and all that shit.
I find it funny. That's what they got caught for. I think it's the least of the fucking things they were up to.
Oh, it's the least. Yes, the least of their things. I do. Technically speaking, like if on like libel laws in so on in the UK, it does favour the kind of plaintiff in that, because the burden of proof on that is on them to say the press to demonstrate they haven't lied. Problem is, it's still, again, it comes down to money again, and can you afford to take someone like the Sun to court? Not many people can. There needs to be accountability on some degree, because too much bullshit is put out by the media, but I don't know that I have the answer as to how we best implement that.
The problem is the cost to doing it has to be so high, I think. And yeah. I don't.
It would be the end of op-ed pages.
Yes.
If the media is going to be held liable for publishing opinions that they don't agree with, then they can't publish any opinions they don't agree with.
It's not so much opinions that are the problem. It is what they print as fact, which is not fact. When they smear people, when they absolutely smear people, I mean, we just I mean, without getting political here, the amount of but seriously, the amount of demonstrably untrue smears the British media did against Jeremy Corbyn in the last 4 years. Because the majority of our media is right wing and did not want him as prime minister. I mean, things that if you just scratch beneath the surface, you could see was bullshit.
Jenny says, literally design social law should be nuanced enough to deal with an exception such as censorship regarding a pandemic versus censorship in general. It's not, though, because it's going to come down to someone's subjective opinion. Antja said, I think it's up to other competing media to be the checks and balances for misinformation. That only works, it's capitalistic, clicks count. And the sensational fake news is much more click-friendly.
Sorry, just before I step out for a couple of minutes, because I'm not being funny. That does not exactly work. I mean, CNN is not a good fucking balance to Fox. You know?
Well, look, who is? I mean, yellow journalism has been a thing for 200 years or longer. So I mean, it's like, yeah. I'm sorry. I think a free media is. I think a free press is necessary. Are they always? If it bleeds, it leads. Yes, that's going to happen. And I don't necessarily see a way around that. I mean, just the fact that we have a saying for a proverbial phrase for
But this is what's let your police get so well funded. It's because you have a horrific incident. Yeah. You have a horrific incident. It is reported on so much that everyone thinks that this is the normal. So of course give the police more money and more weapons.
Oh yeah, I know. Our military, our police can actually have military-grade weapons. That's largely the work of politicians that want to look tough on crime. It's insane. But I get it. My country's nuts. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Your country isn't alone is the problem. Brainbug says, Cripple, for your FYI, your response to the pseudoscience on Twitter yesterday was magnific. I'll see what else I've started doing. Whenever people quote Fox News to me, I ask them why they're quoting me an entertainment channel.
Yeah, because it is one. Very good. Yes. It's like you might as well be quoting a television psychic for entertainment purposes only.
Lone Wanderer says, the media has a duty of care to make sure they have a credible source. Social media should be the poster and not the platform. See, this is the problem. They've got a credible source. If they have, they have a source. If half a dozen people say to come in. Hello, Sammy.
Hi, Sammy.
Hey, Sam.
Hi, Sammy.
Sammy.
Now we can beat you up because this is all your fault for giving us Murdoch.
That's not his fault, yeah.
I want to know when Fox are going to give up on Trump. Say again?
I said Sammy is muted.
Yes.
Yeah, he muted himself.
He'll be sorting himself out. So, Granny, go on. Where do you stand?
Oh, I think there's absolutely no question. The media has to be free. And yes, we are going to pay for it with a lot of misinformation, and we're going to pay for it with a lot of nutbags saying the most ridiculous things, but it's better than silencing other voices. And as long as all voices can be heard, as a general rule, the correct voices are usually the loudest voices because there's usually more of them. Not always, but if it's the case where the minority is in control, if you have something like this, then the sane voices aren't going to be heard at all.
Well said. And I would add to that, like, as long as people if we teach critical thinking skills, you can vet sources for yourself more easily. So, if you, for example, an example to what Granny just said would be, if you have the New York Times citing the CDC, for example, and then you go to the CDC's website and you find that citation is correct, that's,
Sammy put in the side chat, you deserve Murdoch.
Apparently we do. So
apparently.
Go on, Sarah.
My thought on it is that it should be free. Like there shouldn't be limitations on it because, and also this is a side effect of it, it does encourage people to research. I mean, sure, some people are doing research and finding the wrong information. Okay. So it needs to be easier to find the correct information instead of like people like being able to go onto like the mommy groups and stuff on Facebook and find, anti-vaccine stuff. There should be more text on that to like, source them to places where that actually has the correct information. But those groups shouldn't be shut down because they're free speech. Facebook can shut them down because, it's Facebook and they're a private organization. But Trump is trying to change that shit.
Right, there are two things. I need to read the chat. And secondly,
I'm sorry.
The question was phrased. No, it's okay. The question was phrased is should they be held liable?
I mean, they shouldn't be held liable, though, because that's not their fault. Like, that's not... The news organizations should. Social media should not, because social media doesn't have control over what individual people post.
No, I argue that news organizations should not be held liable if they report bad information in good faith, because that's where you get. Hang on, that's where you get a situation where, say, we have a president right now who calls everything except Fox and Friends fake news.
Yeah.
And his base believes it. Yeah. And that is highly problematic. And so that's why I say, no, we can't do that, because he could turn around and say, no, the CDC, the reports from the CDC, those are lies. So we're going to shut down this newspaper.
Have you started to see the latest corona numbers?
Yeah, I agree.
Hold on, right, okay. Again,
Sorry, that's my...
Okay, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I do think, we need to teach people need better critical thinking skills, do need to be taught, because there is a thing when there is, people got their inherent biases or whatever, it's too often there's a news source that is dismissed because of like for example, I had a work colleague I had an argument with, and now I fact checked this article before sharing it to him. It was a Guardian article. Oh, that's a lefty fucking paper. I'm not going to take no notice of that. And it's like, so therein lies a problem. Now, I mean, but I mean, I'm not about, even though I'm very left leaning, I will give quite conservative news sources some credit when they've done some damn good in reporting. Like now,
but this seems to be the problem between the left and the right.
Hold on. But what I'm saying is, but for example, in the UK, a lot of the shit that came out about the scandal with the way MPs were just abusing the expenses thing would never have come out if it had not been from the Daily Telegraph, which is a very conservative news source. But they did some damn good investigative journalism on that. And similar thing, like with a lot of the shit with Murdoch stuff, that was some damn good from the other side. That was a damn good bit of investigative journalism from the Guardian that brought that to light. Now the problem is that news is a commodity. It is capitalistic. And yeah, I think it was too early. The clickbait sensationalist things, they know what people are going to come to. And then, therein lies a big problem. But I do think in a sort of shorter, long term, it is teaching people critical thinking skills. Short term, however, I do think there needs to be some sort of accountability that the media need to be for putting out false information. Now, the problem is, how do we do it? Now, because the problem is it's been demonstrated in this country that the press cannot fucking be trusted to regulate themselves. There has been like an independent, commission that oversees them. They are fucking useless. They do not police them. But on the other hand, then who does? Do you let the state do it? Well, then you go on another slippery slope.
If you allow people to, if you say that the media has to be held liable for inaccurate information, that allows lawsuits against the media for inaccurate information. And in the United States, you can file suit for any reason whatsoever. And you can take down corporations like the New York Times and the Washington Post by getting 1,000 people to file suit against them, all claiming that a story that they ran was false and asking for damages against them. And then they've got to defend these stupid nuisance suits that have no basis whatsoever.
You have to. Do you not have to show harm?
No.
Not to file a suit and force them into court.
It's the problem, though.
If you force them into court, it's going to cost you a fortune. This is how it's been fought in the UK.
You can find some lawyer that's willing to take the thing and only get paid if you win. There are people that will do that because there's lots of money in doing that. Like there are people trying to sue places for forcing them to wear a mask now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can also file suit on your own behalf, and all you owe is the filing fee.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be have to write any decent kind of a lawsuit to do it.
Exactly.
I'm not familiar enough with US law on this, but I think, again, the reality of it is, though, that if say, like a national newspaper ran a story about me which was demonstrably false and smeared me, the chances are I am not going to have the resources to fight that.
And the same thing goes for some of these newspapers as well.
Even if I can demonstrate it's a blatant fucking lie.
In the U.S., that's why you have an umbrella policy, because that'll cover for defending yourself against that.
But also the joke of it is like, because we've had things like, and I mentioned Corbyn earlier. Now, a number of times he had won court cases because of the fact they printed some bullshit. And newspapers had to print front page apologies. But again, then there's the thing. It's not the front page apology is like a tiny little box in the bottom of the front fucking corner.
At the end of the day, the cost has to be. I think no matter what happens here, the cost, if you are going to hold them liable, the cost of doing it has to be disproportionately large.
Yeah.
We
don't have a chop.
They're all going out of business as it is.
But ultimately, if we're not on an economically level footing,
no,
you don't have a chance.
Yes. Here we
ultimately.
go. Harmonica Man. Here's the problem with today's credible sources. It's almost always based on a plea to authority fallacy. That's because authorities lie the most. Little people get dismissed. Lone Wanderer says, I am and have always been anti-censorship. Rainbow says, the problem is the organisations hide in ambiguity by not distinguishing news from opinions and pundits. Fox thrives on that. Lone Wanderer says, wait, Dave, they can't afford to be countersued. So, here's... See, this is a complicated thing. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near an answer, which is disappointing. I thought we could solve the world with this one.
Damn it.
I mean, so this is something, though, as I said, we've had massive inquiries into over Britain. Like the whole Levinson thing was an inquiry into the fact that...
Why do we trust them? Why is it that we have this policy that we should start with trusting them? I don't understand that.
I don't.
Well, I don't think most people do.
I do
not.
No,
we don't.
I don't know if that's a...
And I honestly think that...
All the inquiries start from that place. All the press organisations start from the place of trust. We trust that they are going to do their best, and this is how we will hold them responsible if they don't. Yeah. Rather than taking them from the perspective. And
I think how badly what we could call the quote unquote mainstream media reports on news. I think in a lot of ways they bear a lot of responsibility for the rise in shit like conspiracy theory type shit and shit like InfoWars.
Yes, I completely agree. Right,
because
Sammy,
because people,
Sammy, any opinion?
Those are not mainstream news sources, though. Just FYI. I don't know how they look.
The problem is
the other side.
No. The problem is the way that news escalates. Is the way that news escalates. Yeah, you take a little conspiratory source, and it reports something. Then a larger news organization can report it and legitimize it, and then the big news organizations can report on it. And
yeah, that can happen, but no, it's like the National Enquirer. No one takes it seriously.
But
there are articles in there about how cats are from outer space. But no one gives a shit.
Catboy's my favorite.
Reports from it. The National Enquirer is a good example. People do use reports from the National Enquirer and make a bigger story out of it, whilst hiding the rest of the batshit crazy stuff.
Actually, the worst thing the National Enquirer has ever done is it will buy stories and then shelve them and never run them, and because people who don't want certain news items to get out will sell it to the National Enquirer and say just don't run it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's not journalism. That's a tabloid. FYI,
this is such a difficult thing because again, we've seen it both ways. Again, if you've got enough financial power to take on a news source as well, you can cripple a big news source. I mean, look what happened to Gawker. I'm not saying Gawker was not a credible news source by any stretch of the imagination, but they pissed off someone who had a lot of money, who funded a number of lawsuits against them, which fucking crippled them.
Yeah.
Now, that person was in a position where he could silence an entire media organization.
Yeah.
A lot of this goes back to what you can find, what position you are in society, whether you've got the resources to actually hold these people to account.
I find it disturbing how good the BBC is, in spite of so much from every angle.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sing the glories of the BBC.
No, because the BBC is fucking.
It has its own biases and its own problems, but it's yeah. Right.
The BBC, Anyway,
they're not often reporting on us. I actually rather like it.
I if you've ever
followed our government is the issue.
You ever followed the Israel-Palestine conflict? It's story. Any detail you see how biased the BBC are towards Israel.
I think they're biased towards certain things. I'll talk to you about that after. Right, Sammy. Any opinion before we move on, other than us throwing rocks at you for giving us Murdoch?
G'day. Is my audio all right?
It's fine.
Sounds good.
Yeah, cool. It's difficult. I don't have a very high view of the media in Australia. I have to wonder how much they're affected by the level of freedom that they have to begin with. I saw a list recently where Australia's media is 24th in the world. I think it was basically a freedom of the press sort of ranking, which is really disturbing, you know. So how liable can they be when, you know, they're not really reporting much of the truth to begin with? Let's be honest.
Yes. And bits of it, which is really a pain in the arse. Right. I think we'll go to the last question.
Probably best because we.
I was going to say, I probably should have skipped that one and moved another one in. Because I knew it was going to be a long one, and I was just hoping it wouldn't be too long. And I don't think we've given it justice either way.
No.
Right. Okay then. So the last question. Question 1070. Would you rather have the beak of a cephalopod?
Oh Lord.
Or the legs of a swan?
The legs of a what?
So essentially,
Swans.
I joined for this.
Yes, this is the question you joined for. The legs of a swan or the beak of a cephalopod?
Beak of a cephalopod. No, I really like my lips. All right. Legs of a swan, whatever. I wear pants most of the time anyway.
See, a swan's a beautiful bird, but its legs are still...
It's got big stompy legs.
Still bird legs, so...
You have to swim better.
So.
Oh, but then... There's certain sexual acts I couldn't imagine doing with a beak, so...
Lone Wanderer says, Beak, I love cephalopods. Hands down, I am the Kraken. Antjer says, legs of a swan sound more elegant. Stool says, swan legs, mermaid bosoms, spatula hands. I think he's creating something horrific. Granny.
Swan legs.
Swan legs.
I've always wanted long, skinny legs.
Seraphim. It's vanished. Jeff?
Oh no, I'll go with swan legs. I forgot that I was muted. I'm sorry. I'll go with swan legs. You guys missed my comment about Stool making his own Frankenbride.
Yes, we did.
Well,
yes,
he's making his own Frankenbride. That's what he's doing.
That's a good one.
Yeah. 9 o'clock hero says, can I keep my feet? No, you get the swan's feet. Jeff?
Spatula hands.
You can't have spatula hands, and I'm going to start beating Stool.
I think he enjoys it, so I wouldn't recommend it.
I'm going to say cephalopod then.
Cephalopod beak? Interesting. Any particular reason?
No, just to be different from everyone else.
Do you have something unique? Are you sticking with the swan legs, Julie?
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I love cephalopods, but I don't want to beat.
You don't like the big.
Nah, I'd rather not. I'd rather enjoy kissing.
I'm sure you could kiss with beaks.
Yeah,
it's awkward, and going down on someone with a beak would be really, really weird.
Yeah.
And painful. You just be like super careful, so you can't get all into it and shit. And just know.
But
yeah, I mean, like, you know, it would take a love bite to a whole different level that I'm not sure I'm comfortable with.
Well, again, like I said, with these sexual things, see, they don't really apply to me, so...
That's okay.
Exactly.
They don't have to.
Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, beak could be a good weapon.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And also, I think it would probably make me look super adorable, by the way. But again, I just know.
Jeff, how would you drink your cans?
You pierce them.
I'll find a way.
Yeah, he'd pierce them and be all badass about it.
Yes. I'm sorry, Sarah. What Sarah was saying, and I interrupted. I apologize.
Exactly. I mean, at least you agree with me.
Yes. 9 o'clock hero says beak. Santi says swan legs. I think we're done.
I'm imagining Santi with swan legs. Okay, that's awesome.
Hey, little shorts. Wear shorts.
Oh gosh.
That's good. Right. Okay. On that note, we are going to say thank you to Julie. Thank you to Granny. Thank you to Seraphim.
Yay!
Thank you to Jeff.
Oi, oi.
Thank you to Sammy.
You're welcome.
And thank you to Jenny. And thank you to everyone in the chat. And does anyone have anything to shill?
I've got a new video coming out in a couple of days, and Dave has a little bit in it.
Don't know what you're talking about.
This week has been insane. I don't think I have anything else YouTube related going on until Saturday. We should have secular D&D. We had to take last week off, so hopefully it'll be fine.
I don't have anything myself planned until Sunday, and obviously some of the reasons Julie's aware of, but So hopefully, it'd be normal service resumed by Sunday, I hope. So
it's all right. I'll just have to kidnap both of you for the rest of the week.
Sweet.
Right. On that note, then, we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.